Right, my dudes, how's it going? Bit weird me starting the video in a Tesco's car park. I'm currently sat in Thetford. I need to just run into the shop. Basically, I don't have any idea of where I'm going to camp today. There's a couple of places that I want to go and check out. There's one actually only about 5-10 minute drive from here, which I camped at on my first East Anglia walk, the top to bottom one. It's like a nature reserve. It's quite open. I camped in like a bird watching hut there. It seemed like a pretty good place, and I never go there, not even to walk around or anything. So it's got a lake there, so I think we're going to go and check that out. And if we can camp there, find a suitable spot there to have like a little fire, or worst case just a bush box, then that's what we'll do. But first, let's go into Tesco, grab some supplies, and then we'll make our way there. Back in the van. In my personal opinion, this is the peak of on-the-go food. A Tezzy's meal deal, ham and cheese sub with some Walker's prawn cocktail. £3.50 for crisps, a sub and a drink. That's the go-to. I'm a little bit late out today. It's just gone 1:45. I've spent the morning sanding and painting a load of kitchen cupboard doors at home, so yeah, I'm out a little bit later. I wasn't actually going to come and stay out. I was just going to come out and record in the afternoon, but as soon as I get like a little inkling of time to come out and record, I'm just like, nah, gotta stay. I've got work tomorrow, so I'll be up and away early. But anyway, let's get on the road. Right, we're at the spot. I'm going to leave all my kit here. I'll just bring the camera along. We'll go for a quick recce and have a little look about, see what it's looking like, see if there's many people, and we'll see if there's actually any good places to camp or not. I remember coming down here on my motorbike. The lakes are on the left-hand side over there through the trees. Because it's summer and everything's growing up at the minute, it's all looking pretty good. We have some nice oak trees. We've got some silver birch, we've got some hawthorn, some willow as well. I do have my boots with me as well, but I've been driving in the vans. I'll end up swapping them out later on. Plenty of places to set up, even just round here. We've got a nice wall of greenery there, so nobody on the other side can see us here. The track can barely see us here, especially if I tuck in just over there. There's loads of wood about. We might even be able to burn some oak tonight, which would be a nice little touch. Yeah, let's keep moving anyway. Let's just not settle for the first spot. We'll have a little bit more of a look round and then make a decision. But yeah, buzzing. Straight away, another nice little spot. Look at all that firewood in the distance. Big fallen tree. The ground's nice and soft. I'm thinking I could ridgeline between that silver birch and this bit of hornbeam. Do you know, I drive past this place every day to go to work. I've camped here once before. Oh, some good silver birch bark. And I don't know why I haven't thought about coming back here more regular. The place is mint. It's more like heathland than woodland, because I'm always in the woods or doing something stealthy or out on the boat. I don't really go to much heathland, so I'd probably expect to see this place in a few more videos down the line. Let's go check some more of it out. Might go and check out the other side of the track. I don't know if I said this earlier, but the lake is that way. The only way I've been to it before is by back near the van. There's a little track that kind of leads up to it. Oh, nearly fell over. Whee. Good place for foragers around here as well. Parasol mushroom. Slightly nutty in taste. Got to be careful though, because there are a couple that look a bit similar. Make sure you do your research. What's going on, my dude? Are you lost? Where's your mum? Is that her up there? Well, I'll let you go then, pal. See you in a bit. Sorry for jumping the fence. When I climb the fences, by the way, I always try and climb them next to a post, just because that's where all the strength is, where the staples are. You know, it's not going to get pulled off. I'd hate to like climb in the middle and it all just comes down. Like, someone's put effort into that. We're going to cross them, but you've got to respect them. What a view though. I need to go back and change the lens. You're not getting this view. This is like a fixed 16mm lens, so I can't zoom on it. Look at them dark clouds rolling in with a nice sea of yellow underneath. This one looks to be dried up. There must be quite a few around here. To be honest, I haven't looked at a map of this place, so I'm kind of just winging it on the day, but there you go. Can you see that bird watching building behind at the back? I think I might have just walked into a load of bird watchers line of sight. Let's get back down the hill just in case. Shout out to Uncle Hayes, by the way. Just realised I've got his tea on. Well, this is why it's called the Recce. Broken land. It's not really much of a woodland, it's more like a double strip of trees. Before there's more heathland and then another strip. And that is the Recce for you. It can fool you. Like if you look over there, that looks like it could be a solid wood block. But it's only a couple of trees deep before you're back out on the heathland again. Bit of local knowledge for you. The bird watchers are definitely watching me, by the way. I can see them in the hut. Keep seeing a flash of red from someone's jacket. I think there's 2 or 3 of them in there. I'm going to do a big long bracket round out of their sight, get back on the track. It's a no from me up here though. Tick fest, tick fest, tick fest, tick fest, tick fest. They love the fur under the ticks and they're rife round here. Loads of birch polypore and the silver birch. I wouldn't be surprised if something lived in there. This is the spot. If you haven't seen that video, go check it out. It was the middle of winter and I was freezing on the deck here and there was barely enough room widthways. But yeah, good memories, good times, raising money for charity. And then I know that this leads back to the van. I'm going to say no on this spot for today. I will come back here. However, there's so much traffic. Have I got chocolate on my face? There's so much traffic and there's a lot of road noise. It's really muggy out here as well, so I think I'm going to shoot over to the lake. Not this lake, but a lake that I've camped at a couple of times before. There's a nice little spot down there. And I've brought my DD A-frame mesh tent with me, so mozzies shouldn't be an issue. And I think it'll be a little cooler there. More firewood. And it's the van. I'm just paranoid about the van. I do have a wheel lock now. Shout out to Gareth. But yeah, anyway, that's what we're going to do. We're going to go to the lake. Peace. Bye. Right then, my dudes, we are at the spot. So let's get set up. Here is the setup. I was using this last week. I didn't film a video or anything, but I busted it back out because I'm just getting sick of the mozzies again. I've had this a good year now. It's a really good bit of kit. The only thing I would say, just from experience, is if you're somewhere spiky or, you know, you've got a lot of sharp branches around, you might want to put a ground mat underneath because the material in the bottom is very thin. Try and clear the area a little bit. Just got the 3x3 behind, just got a ridge line with a trucker's hitch and then a toggle. And then I've used the Prussics on my ridge line just to hook the toggles of the mesh tent on. You can set this up with hiking poles or you can set it up with cut to length bits of wood. I normally use 2 bits of straight hazel and then I just pull a guy off and peg it down. Pegs, just natural from what I found in the ground. I do a lot of forest camping, so like conventional tent pegs are no good to me. They need to be chunky like that, so I'm better off just saving the weight and making someone to come out here. And that is the gist of what we're sleeping in. And here's our view. Not much of a view because you've got all the branches in the way, but we are right by the lake. I'll take you up there a bit later on and then I'll show you it full width. It's a really nice lake this. It's all man-made. This is a conservation lake and then you've got a public swimming lake down there. I mean, people swim in both and they're connected, but that's just what it says on the map. Sleeping wise, I've got my one Tigris mat that I sometimes make a tripod chair out of as kind of like my ground sheet, purely because the reindeer pelt isn't actually long enough, so my legs can get pretty cold. I just put that at the bottom. I've got my cushion from the settee, the old cushion from the old settee. That's kind of become a staple now. I'm kind of done with camping pillows. I just bring that. I can always carry it in my bag. There's always room for it. No sleeping bag, just got the outhouse merino blanket. That thing's been serving me well this summer. The only thing I would say is my pelt is molting all over it, so my clothes get covered in hair, but there you go, bushcraft. I've camped in this spot quite a number of times now, maybe 5 or 6, but it looks completely different this time. I think a few other people have been here because the branches are kind of, well, non-existent. They used to be really tight. All these trees used to be thick and tight behind me, but people have taken birch bark off the tree, I see, and most of the branches are gone within the 5 metre vicinity. Not to bother though, I mean, it is quite a busy place. It's a public lake, it's a place that a lot of people come to walk their dogs, as I say, go swimming. I think there's a nudist beach at the other end as well. But there you go. I'm just stoked to have a like fly protective thing but still under the tarp. It's a really good combination. Fly nets are getting quite popular as well in the community now, and you can see why. Like, people want to do the tarp camping but they're just fed up of getting bitten. I dip in and out, like I say, I use this as a treat now and again. I had it in the van from last week, and it just so happened that because we've decided to come to the lake that it's worked out well. So what is next on the agenda? I think we're going to shoot back to the van quick, grab the food, and then I'll be back. Yellow stag's horn. Just walking back to the van. If you don't know what this tree is, it's an alder, and this is what the leaves look like. Let's get this scran. Nearly back at camp, through the winding trees. Safe and secure. Time for a beer. Boots off time, I reckon. I was going to do a Q&A tonight on this video, but in my mad dash to load the van up and get out here, I didn't have time to charge my power bank, so my phone battery's pretty low. So I think next video, I'll do the Q&A on the next video. There's loads of questions to answer, and I'll just quick fire them, and I'll probably end up editing it going, why did I say that? I'd say this, but I'll save that for the next video. Shout out to Kev for the beers. And that goes out to anyone that sent me any beers or chucked us a couple of quid over on the old PayPal for beers and that. Like, it does go a long way. Thank you very much. Cheers, Kev. Oh, do you know what? It's nice having like a safe haven. I don't mean to make out like we're out here avoiding bears and stuff, but like, you know, I love my tarp camping, but to have like a fly net and to actually just be able to sit and chill and not actually like get bit or just have them pestering you before you've got the fire on, it's an absolute game changer. So if you are in the wild camping community and you're out here camping through the summer, especially near water and that, and you're just getting fed up of the mozzies, get yourself a mozzie net. He says, as he's got bites all up his arm already, that was just heading back to the van. Literally 5-10 minute walk. But yeah, I got mauled last time. That's why I got loads of scabs and that on my face. They're not all teenage spots, they're all like midgies and mozzies. So I'm just gonna finish my beer, probably listen to a bit of music or something before my phone dies completely. I've got a couple of candles to light tonight. It's a little bit damp, all the wood, because it has been raining for the past couple of days, hence why so many mushrooms have come out, and I've seen a load of them today. Kind of happy just sitting in here, to be honest. You can just sit and chill in here all night. Boring video, sorry. No angles. If you like all the angles, you came to the wrong place. Go check out my other videos. I've camped here with Bellows Ben a couple of times. A few people have been asking about Ben recently and wondering where he is and why he's not in the videos. Well, work actually split me and him up. They didn't like the two strong personalities together at work, standing up for what's right. So anyway, that means that I don't work with Ben anymore and I don't see him on my time off, which is awful because we used to work together 4 days a week and then camp. Yeah, we haven't fallen out or anything. He's still my bezzy. You can kind of see it looks like a footpath. Now this has definitely become more prominent since the last time I camped here. It was a little bit of a deer track before, but it looks like a lot of people are wanting to walk around the outskirts of the lake now. Right, we've abandoned ship. It looks like the sun's out now, like big time. All the clouds have gone, some nice blue sky. I got sent this cool little lightweight drone thing from a company called Hover, and it just folds up dead small. pretty cool. It's a bit of a lightweight thing, like you wouldn't want to film loads of high up cinematic shots in the mountains, but I thought I'd bring this down here because we've got something to film. The water looks nice and the sun's out shining bright, so let's give this a whirl, see if we can get a few shots on this, and you make your mind up whether you think it's any good. A question I probably get asked the most is, how do you find your wild camping spots? How do you know where to go? I am quite lucky in the sense that I live in the countryside. I live in the flattest part of the country, East Anglia, and we are blessed with plenty of woodland areas and forests and, you know, general countryside. We don't have hills, but we've got loads of places you can camp. But I mean, I've travelled a lot around the country and I've camped all over really, and the more I've camped, the more confident I've got and the less I've been bothered. When I first started wild camping, I used to walk into like the deepest bit of the forest, and I've just realised people generally don't care. I've met a couple of people out walking the dogs, like as I've got a bit more necky and not travelled into the depths of the woods so much, but you're pretty sound most places, and to be honest, most people think it's well cool. It'd take a proper job's worth to say something. Just go out and do it, to be honest. Like, don't let that hold you back. Really don't let that hold you back. Like, yeah, alright, you know, it's a civil matter, it's not against the law. The police aren't going to come down and lock you up for it. It's the fires that people care about. So, you do have to kind of know what you're doing, and there's certain areas I wouldn't dream of having a fire. I tend to just jump in the van and drive out and just go look at these spots, or I might start off on like Google Maps, find somewhere, then put it on satellite, do a bit of a bird's eye view on it, and then just drive there and go suss it out. But most of my camps are done just pitching up and winging it, and it's always turned out pretty well. I've never been moved on from anywhere, and I camp pretty much every week, and I've camped in some dodgy places, and I've always been sound. So don't let the fear of getting caught like overcome you to not go camping, you know, just get out there and do it. But I have heard from a few locals that this little spot right here is the nudist bit. People come down here and just get all their kit off. Never seen anyone. Actually, tell a lie, did see someone down here when I was with Bellows. We camped out literally right here, just in the bivvy bags, and there was a woman come down and she just did not care, got all her kit off straight in there. Haven't seen anyone else down here. I'm surprised at how many like early evening wild swimmers there are out here. I don't know if is it like the done thing to have a float with you, like a fluorescent float? Is that like an unwritten rule or something? They've all got them. Heading back to camp now. That was nice little wander up there, but time's ticking. I want to get a few branches in. Here we are, back to the safety of the net. When you just sit there and watch telly, or like play a console, or sit and scroll on Instagram on your phone or something, time can just go nowhere, and before you realise it, hours have gone by. But when you actually come out in nature and just turn off all the distractions, come somewhere nice and peaceful and outdoors, time definitely slows down. This tree is still living, but I'm not using my knife to dig into the tree. I'm only taking what it's already offering to me, which doesn't harm the tree. I've got all my wood in, just whatever was laying around up in the trees. None from the floor, just because, you know, it's going to be mouldy and it sits in the wet all the time. You want the stuff that's getting caught in other branches and the wind dries it out so it stays drier, and it's just a lot better. It tends not to smoke as much either, but I've got a mixture of pine in there with a bit of birch and a bit of sycamore. Shout out Bitty Big Q. This is a wicked grill. Packs down really small, but it's actually a fairly sizable grill. You just unfold it all the way, undo the legs, which you can change the height of, which is something I thought was pretty cool, because a lot of them are fixed at one height, and this is the best bit. Whoa. Sun's just about going down now in the background. Vibes are chill here at Camp Mozzie. I've been absolutely loving using the merino blanket this spring and summer. 80% merino, 20% synthetic. I mean, it doesn't pack down small like a down sleeping bag, but it packs flat. I do bring the Rab hut slippers as well. I just kind of tuck them in the fold there, just because in the spring I was getting cold feet a little bit and I won't get caught out again. They're always there. Sometimes I don't use them, but I love that combo. And on the reindeer pelt, I love the reindeer pelt because it's comfier than any foam mat, and you can move about on it, kind of like a rug on a living room floor. You know, you can kind of roll around and just chill out on it. Whereas on an inflatable mat, you know, there's a chance of it bursting, and like you kind of feel like you're on water a little bit. This is solid, thick, very good insulation, and yeah, I just love the combo. These dogs haven't stopped barking for a good half an hour now. And it is time to hit the hay. I'm up early, so I'm off to sleep. I'll catch you in the morning. Good morning, everyone. It's just gone 4 o'clock and everything is packed up. Got all my rubbish in that Tesco bag there. Fire's all backfilled, nice and clean, nothing left, leaving no trace. Let's get back to the van, hopefully he's still there, and then let's head out to work. Well, thanks for watching the video, everyone. I did go camping after work the following night, but I didn't film a video. However, I'm just going to chuck in a couple of bonus clips. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you on the next one. Peace.
But the trouble is, it ain't going to get any better because you've got shit teaching shit, you know? Yeah. Nowadays, you've got
swear to God, I'm not slandering.
You at the back of the queue, I know it's not your fault, Mother Nature.